Beneath your feet right now, there could be an entire hidden world. Not tunnels, not small chambers, but full cities, with streets, homes, storage rooms, even places of worship, built completely underground. And the strangest part? Some of these underground worlds were not built after disasters. They were designed before anything went wrong, almost as if the people who built them were preparing for something they never fully explained. Before we go deeper into this hidden world, make sure you subscribe and stay with this journey, because what we are about to uncover will completely change the way you see ancient cities. Because history is not just what we see on the surface. It's also what was buried, hidden, and protected below it. One of the most extraordinary examples of this hidden underground world exists beneath the land of Cappadocia. At first glance, Cappadocia looks like a surreal landscape of strange rock formations and ancient stone structures. But beneath this landscape lies something far more incredible. An entire underground city known as Derinkuyu Underground City. This is not a small shelter. It is a massive underground network that descends more than 60 meters below the surface. It contains multiple levels, each carefully designed for survival. They are living quarters, storage rooms, wine cellars, animal stables, ventilation shafts that bring fresh air deep underground, and even large communal spaces where people could gather. At its peak, Derinkuyu may have sheltered up to 20,000 people at once. That's not a hiding place. That's a city. But why build an entire city underground? That question has puzzled historians for decades. One explanation is protection. The region of Cappadocia experienced frequent invasions throughout history. Armies passed through the area, raiding and destroying surface settlements. By moving underground, people could disappear completely. Massive stone doors could be rolled into place to seal off entrances. From the outside, there would be almost no sign that thousands of people were hiding below. But there is something unusual about this explanation, because the level of planning inside Derinkuyu suggests something more than temporary defense. The city was not built in a rush. It was carefully engineered over time. Ventilation systems were designed to support life deep underground. Water wells were protected from contamination. Passageways were narrow and strategic, making it easy to defend against intruders. This was not just a shelter. It was a long-term survival system. And Derinkuyu is not alone. In fact, it is only one part of a much larger underground network. Nearby cities like K-Makli Underground City are connected through tunnels. Together, they form a hidden world beneath the surface, a network that could have supported entire populations for extended periods of time. And that raises an even deeper mystery. What were these people preparing for? Because building something this complex requires more than fear of occasional raids. It suggests long-term planning, a need for safety that went beyond normal threats. And Cappadocia is not the only place where such underground worlds exist. Across the world, archaeologists have discovered hidden cities beneath ancient settlements. Some were used for protection, others for storage, and some we still don't fully understand. In parts of Rome, beneath the streets of the modern city, there are layers of ancient tunnels and chambers known as the Roman catacombs. These were used for burial, but they also reveal how deeply ancient civilizations built beneath the surface. In Egypt, hidden chambers beneath pyramids and temples suggest that underground construction was an important part of ancient design. Even in South America, underground passages have been discovered beneath ancient cities, connecting temples and ceremonial spaces. It is as if civilizations across the world understood something we are only beginning to realize. The surface is not always safe, and sometimes survival depends on what lies below. But here's where the mystery becomes even more interesting. Because some underground structures show no clear signs of emergency use, no evidence of sudden occupation, no signs of panic. Instead, they appear to have been part of everyday life, which raises a powerful question. Were these underground worlds built for protection, or were they simply another way of living? And if they were built for protection, what kind of threat required entire cities to move beneath the ground? The deeper we explore, the more questions we uncover. Because in the next part, we will descend even further into the hidden layers beneath ancient cities. And what we find there will challenge everything we think we know about how and why these underground worlds were built. Some of these places were not just shelters. They were designed with precision, with purpose, and possibly with knowledge that has been lost to time. Stay with the story, because what lies beneath the surface may be far more advanced and far more mysterious than anyone ever expected. If underground cities were only built for emergencies, why do they feel so complete? Why do they look less like hiding places and more like fully planned worlds? Because as we go deeper into the hidden layers beneath ancient cities, one thing becomes clear. These places were not temporary. They were designed to function for long periods of time. Before we descend even further, make sure you stay with the journey and subscribe, because what we are about to uncover suggests that ancient civilizations may have mastered underground living in ways we still don't fully understand. Beneath the surface of the ancient world, architecture changes. Everything becomes more strategic, more controlled, more intentional. In surface cities, buildings can expand outward, but underground, every space must be carefully carved, shaped, and supported. And yet, in places like Derinkuyu Underground City, the design is not just functional, it is advanced. Ventilation shafts run vertically through multiple levels, allowing fresh air to circulate deep below ground. Some of these shafts extend more than 50 meters, carefully positioned to maintain airflow without exposing the city. Without modern tools, without electricity, ancient builders created a system that could support thousands of people underground. And they didn't stop there. Water systems were equally impressive. Wells were dug deep into underground water sources, ensuring a constant supply. In some cases, these wells were designed so that they could only be accessed from inside the city, preventing enemies from poisoning the water. This level of planning suggests something important. These cities were built with the expectation that people might remain underground for extended periods. Not hours, not days, but possibly weeks, or even months. And then there are the doors. Massive circular stone doors, weighing hundreds of kilograms, were placed at key points within the tunnels. These doors could be rolled into position from the inside, sealing entire sections of the city. From the outside, breaking through them would have been extremely difficult. It's a design that feels almost modern. Layered defense, controlled access, compartmentalized security. But here's where the mystery deepens. Because similar underground systems exist in completely different parts of the world. In Rome, beneath the busy streets, lies a vast network of tunnels and chambers built over centuries. The Roman catacombs stretch for kilometers. While they are primarily known as burial sites, their scale suggests something more. Long corridors, multiple levels, hidden passageways. In times of persecution, these catacombs may have also served as places of refuge. People could move through them unseen, gather in hidden chambers, avoid detection. And again, we see a pattern. Underground spaces being used not just for the dead, but for the living. Now travel even further, across continents, into ancient Egypt. Beneath monumental structures like pyramids and temples, archaeologists have discovered hidden chambers and passageways. Some are small, some are massive, and many of them are still unexplored. The most famous example is beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza. Hidden shafts and sealed chambers have been detected using modern scanning technology. Some passages are too narrow for humans to enter. Others lead to spaces that remain completely mysterious. Why were these hidden areas created? Were they purely symbolic, religious, or did they serve a practical purpose we don't yet understand? And then there is another possibility, one that connects all of these underground worlds together. What if these structures were not just about defense or ritual, but about survival? Because underground environments offer something unique. Stability. Temperature remains constant. Protection from extreme weather. Safety from storms, fires, and even certain natural disasters. In a world without modern infrastructure, going underground could provide a level of security that surface living could not. But this idea raises an even bigger question. If ancient civilizations understood the advantages of underground living, why didn't more of them build entire cities below the surface? Or did they, and we simply haven't found them yet? Because discoveries are still being made. Even today, hidden tunnels beneath ancient sites, unknown chambers beneath historic cities, entire sections of underground worlds waiting to be uncovered. And sometimes these discoveries are accidental. A collapsed wall, a construction project, a small opening in the ground, and suddenly a hidden world is revealed, which leads us to the next part of this journey, because what we are about to explore goes beyond known underground cities. It moves into something even more mysterious. Places where tunnels stretch far beyond what we expect. Networks that seem too large, too connected, too complex to be explained easily. Some researchers believe these underground systems may once have connected entire regions, not just cities, but civilizations. And if that's true, then what we've discovered so far might only be a small part of something much bigger. Stay with the story, because in the next part, we go deeper than ever before, into underground networks that may stretch farther than anyone imagined, and might still be hiding secrets beneath our feet. What if underground cities were never meant to be isolated? What if they were part of something much bigger, something connected? Because as researchers continue to explore beneath ancient landscapes, a new and far more mysterious idea begins to take shape. These underground worlds may not have been separate cities at all. They may have been part of vast networks, hidden beneath the surface, stretching far beyond what we can see. Before we go deeper into this possibility, make sure you stay with the journey and subscribe, because what we are about to uncover challenges everything we thought we knew about ancient construction. Because now, we are no longer talking about a single underground city. We are talking about entire underground systems. In regions like Cappadocia, evidence suggests that multiple underground cities were not only built close to each other, but may have been connected. Cities such as Derinkuyu Underground City and Kamakli Underground City are located just a few kilometers apart. Archaeologists have discovered tunnels that appear to link different underground settlements. Some of these tunnels are narrow. Others are large enough for groups of people to pass through. If these connections were fully functional, it would mean that people could move between entire underground cities without ever coming to the surface. Imagine that for a moment. A hidden network beneath the earth. Multiple cities, connected by tunnels, forming a silent world below. But why would such a network exist? One possibility is security. If one underground city was discovered or attacked, people could escape through tunnels to another. Another possibility is trade and communication. Even underground, communities would still need to exchange goods, share information, and maintain connections. But there is something about the scale of these systems that feels larger than simple necessity. Because similar tunnel networks have been reported in other parts of the world. In parts of Europe, especially regions of Germany and Austria, researchers have identified what are known as ancient tunnel systems, sometimes called Erdstall. These are narrow underground passages that stretch for kilometers beneath forests and fields. Many of them are so tight that a person must crawl through them. They connect chambers, storage spaces, and hidden exits. Their purpose is still debated. Some believe they were used for refuge during times of conflict. Others think they may have had religious or ritual significance. But once again, we see a pattern. Underground passages appearing in completely different cultures across vast distances. And then there are even more unusual discoveries. In parts of Peru, ancient underground tunnels have been found beneath historic sites. Some legends even describe long passages connecting distant locations beneath the Andes. While not all of these claims have been fully confirmed, enough evidence exists to suggest that underground construction was more widespread than we once believed. And this leads to an even deeper mystery. Because building tunnels is not easy. It requires time, effort, planning, and a clear purpose. So why do so many ancient cultures seem to have invested in building beneath the ground? Were they all responding to similar threats? Or did they share knowledge, ideas, or techniques? Because when we look closely, we begin to notice something else. The design principles are often similar. Narrow entrances, hidden access points, ventilation systems, defensive features. It's almost as if different civilizations, separated by distance and time, arrive at the same solutions. Oh, they were influenced by something we don't fully understand. Now imagine this, a world where ancient people didn't just live on the surface, but also moved below it, where hidden pathways allowed travel without being seen, where entire communities could vanish underground when needed. It sounds like something from a story, but the evidence is real, and we are still discovering more of it, which raises one final, unsettling question. How much of this underground world is still hidden? Because many of these tunnels remain unexplored. Collapsed sections block entire pathways. Unknown chambers lie sealed behind stone. And in some cases, modern cities have been built directly on top of ancient underground systems, which means that beneath busy streets, buildings, and roads. There may still be hidden spaces waiting to be discovered, entire sections of ancient networks, untouched for thousands of years. And what might we find if we could explore them fully? Artifacts? Lost knowledge? Or something even more unexpected? Because in the next part of this journey, we move beyond the idea of underground cities as shelters or networks. We begin to explore something even more mysterious. Underground spaces that may have served purposes we don't yet understand. Places that feel less like homes, and more like something else entirely. Stay with the story, because what lies beneath ancient cities may not just be about survival. It may be about something far more complex and far more hidden. What if some underground spaces were never meant for living at all? What if they were built for something else, something we still don't fully understand? Because as archaeologists dig deeper beneath ancient cities, they are finding places that don't fit the pattern of normal life. Not homes, not storage, not simple shelters, but carefully constructed underground chambers with unusual designs, precise layouts, and purposes that remain unclear. Before we uncover these strange hidden spaces, make sure you stay with the journey and subscribe, because what we are about to explore may change the way you think about ancient intelligence and design. Because now, we are entering the most mysterious part of the underground world. Spaces that feel intentional, but not easily explained. In parts of Egypt, deep beneath monumental structures, archaeologists have discovered hidden chambers that seem almost symbolic. Beneath the Great Pyramid of Giza, there are shafts and sealed voids that do not clearly connect to burial chambers. These spaces are too small to live in, too isolated for storage, and yet they were built with extreme precision. Modern scanning technology has revealed hidden cavities that we still cannot fully access. Some researchers believe these spaces had ritual or ceremonial purposes. Others suggest they may have been designed as part of a symbolic journey, representing movement between worlds. But there is no single explanation that fully answers the question, and Egypt is not alone. In Malta, there exists one of the most unusual underground structures ever discovered. It is known as the House Saflieni Hypogeum. This structure dates back more than 5,000 years. It is entirely carved underground. Multiple chambers spread across different levels, connected by narrow passageways and carved doorways. But what makes this place truly strange is its design. The chambers are shaped in ways that affect sound. Certain rooms create powerful echoes. Some frequencies resonate strongly within the space. It's as if the builders intentionally designed the structure to manipulate sound and vibration. Why would they do this? Some believe the hypogeum was used for rituals involving sound or chanting. Others think it may have been connected to spiritual beliefs about the afterlife. But once again, the true purpose remains uncertain. And then there are even more mysterious examples. In parts of Turkey, beyond the well-known underground cities, smaller hidden chambers have been found that do not appear to be connected to living spaces. These rooms isolated, sometimes difficult to access, and often built with unusual symmetry. They don't contain evidence of daily life. No cooking tools, no storage containers, just empty, carefully carved space. It raises a powerful question. Why invest so much effort into building underground rooms that were not meant for living? Because carving into rock is not easy. It takes time, planning, and resources. Every chamber had a purpose, even if that purpose is no longer clear to us. And this is where the mystery deepens even further. Because when we compare these underground structures across different regions, we begin to see patterns, precision, geometry, controlled access, acoustic properties. It's almost as if these spaces were designed with a deeper understanding of environment and structure, a knowledge that may have been lost over time. Now imagine standing inside one of these underground chambers. No sunlight, no wind, only silence, or perhaps a strange echo. The air feels different. The space feels intentional, not random, not accidental. And you begin to realize something. These places were not just built to survive. They were built to create an experience. But what kind of experience? Spiritual? Scientific? Something else entirely? Because in the final part of this journey, we bring everything together. The underground cities, the tunnel networks, the mysterious chambers. And we ask the biggest question of all. What was the true purpose of these hidden worlds beneath ancient cities? Were they simply practical solutions to real-world problems? Or were they part of something much greater, something we have not yet fully understood? Stay with the story, because what we are about to uncover may completely change the way we see the past and the hidden world beneath our feet. What if everything we've seen so far is only a fraction of the truth? What if the underground worlds beneath ancient cities were never just about survival, defense, or ritual, but part of a much bigger idea? Because when we connect all the pieces together, the massive underground cities, the hidden tunnel networks, and the mysterious chambers, we begin to see something extraordinary, a pattern. Before we uncover what that pattern might mean, make sure you stay with the journey and subscribe, because the final truth behind these hidden worlds may be far more advanced than we ever imagined. Across different civilizations, across different continents, across thousands of years, humans kept building underground. Not once, not occasionally, but repeatedly. In Cappadocia, entire cities like Derinkuyu Underground City and Kamakli Underground City were carved deep into the earth, capable of sustaining thousands of people. In Rome, the vast Roman catacombs stretched for kilometers beneath the surface. In Egypt, hidden chambers beneath monuments like the Great Pyramid of Giza continue to raise unanswered questions. And in Malta, the House Saflieni Hypogeum shows a level of design that goes beyond simple function. Different cultures, different environments, different time periods, and yet the same idea. Build below, hide below, lie below, understand below. It's not random, it's intentional, and that leads us to the final and most important question. Why? One explanation is survival. Underground spaces offer protection from extreme heat, cold, storms, and even certain natural disasters. They provide stability in a world that can be unpredictable. Another explanation is security. In times of war, invasion, or conflict, going underground allows entire populations to disappear from sight. A city can vanish without ever leaving the land. But these explanations, while logical, may not be enough, because some of these underground structures go far beyond what is necessary for survival. They are too complex, too carefully designed, too advanced for simple shelter, which suggests something deeper. Perhaps ancient civilizations understood something about the world that we are only beginning to realize. That the surface is not always the safest place to be. That true resilience comes from building in ways that adapt to uncertainty. Or perhaps these underground worlds were not just about physical survival, but about knowledge, because underground environments preserve things. Artifacts, structures, even entire spaces can remain intact for thousands of years. What if some of these underground chambers were designed to protect knowledge, to store something important, something meant to survive long after the surface world changed? It's a possibility that cannot be ignored. And then there is one final idea, one that is more mysterious, but impossible to dismiss. What if we haven't discovered everything yet? Because even today, new underground spaces are being found. Hidden tunnels beneath ancient ruins, sealed chambers beneath cities, unknown voids detected by modern scanning technology. And in many cases, these discoveries happen by accident. A construction project reveals a hidden passage. A collapse opens an entrance. A scan detects a void where nothing should exist. Which means this story is not finished. Not even close. There may still be entire underground worlds waiting to be uncovered. Cities beneath cities. Networks beneath landscapes. Secrets beneath our feet. And the most fascinating part is this. People in the ancient world built these places knowing that they might not always be seen. Knowing that they might remain hidden. Waiting for someone, someday, to discover them. So the next time you walk through a modern city, think about this. Beneath the roads, beneath the buildings, beneath the noise of everyday life, there could be another world. Silent, hidden, ancient. A world that tells a story we are only beginning to understand. If you want to uncover more hidden histories, lost civilizations, and mysterious worlds beneath our feet, make sure you subscribe and stay with us. Because the past is not gone. It's just waiting to be discovered.